On the evening of October 16, 2016, the calm night was shattered by multiple emergency calls to 911. Panic spread as police received reports of a shooting near the intersection of Winter Road and Sterling Avenue.
I've got a faint pulse. Where she's hit center chest, right here. And it looks like right there in the top of the chest. Hang on, I only heard one gunshot. I've got a faint pulse. All right, hang on, guys.
On the evening of October 16, 2016,
Police quickly arrived at the chaotic scene. A minivan was partially in someone's front yard, its driver's side door ajar. Whitney Gray, 22 years old, lay motionless beside her vehicle, a single gunshot wound to her chest.
Is this her vehicle?
Yes, sir.
Are these her children? Who is she to you, ma'am?
She's my aunt.
She's your aunt? What happened?
Some guy kept cutting us off, and I yelled at him, and he shot.
This is her.
The young girl in the car, a witness to the tragedy, recounted the horrifying events in a trembling voice. A stranger had shot Whitney dead right in front of her innocent children, turning a minor traffic dispute into an unforgettable tragedy.
I'm not sure. What happened, sweetheart? Tell me.
Some guy kept cutting us off and riding our ass, and so she kept going or whatever, and he sped around us, and she yelled at him that she had kids, and he said, "I don't give a fuck," and then shot.
In the car, did they get out?
We were driving by right past here.
Okay, so he shot through the car.
Yeah.
Where were you guys at in the roadway?
We were back there. She couldn't drive, so I had to sit on her lap and park the car.
Whitney's niece, in a state of shock, struggled to describe the assailant. Every small detail, from the vehicle's color to the suspect's appearance, became crucial in the intense investigation to find the perpetrator before he could strike again.
You were with Whitney, and that's your aunt, correct? Okay. And you were in her minivan. What were you guys doing this evening? Tell me a little bit about that. Tell me where you guys had been or where you were coming from, okay?
We were coming from Price Chopper.
Price Chopper there at 23rd and Sterling?
Yeah.
So you just left Price Chopper? And who is with you and Whitney?
Just the two boys.
Okay, two boys. Who are they?
And
All right, so it's just you four, correct? Okay. Whitney's driving the minivan, correct? You're in the front passenger seat?
yeah.
Okay. Boys are in the back? Okay.
Details from the victim's testimony opened a vital clue. He described a large white vehicle, possibly an SUV or truck, tailing Whitney's minivan. The presence of this vehicle escalated the conflict, leading to the fatal shooting.
Okay, so you just left Price Chopper. You get out onto Sterling there, okay, and you're going north, okay? Okay. When you pull out of the lot, any issues with anyone?
No.
Okay. You pull out, you're going north. What happens?
Some guy starts getting real close to them with the car. So she gets mad, she brake checks him a little bit.
Okay, so Whitney brake checks him because he's getting too close. And when you say getting too close, he's tailgating you at that point.
Yeah.
Did he come right up on you, or was he there? Did you guys?
She noticed it, I didn't.
Okay, so
I
you
just turned
didn't
around
even
and-
notice it at that point. Okay, did she tell you someone was tailgating her, or did she make a comment?
Yeah.
What was her comment?
Someone driving my ass.
And at that point, did you look back? Did you see who was?
I turned around back.
Okay, what could you tell? What type of vehicle it was?
I just saw it was white. I don't
White.
Gunshots echoed in that fateful moment. Whitney could no longer drive, forcing her niece to sit on her lap in a desperate attempt to control the situation. The chaotic scene left everyone nearby in sheer horror.
Okay, so it's tailgating. You look back and see it's white, and your aunt had told you someone's riding my ass. Okay, you're still driving northbound from 23rd Street from the Price Chopper there. What happens? I mean,
We get up to a light,
okay,
and he comes around, and he's like, parallel to us.
And so he's on your passenger side.
Yeah.
Okay. What goes on at that point? Was there any words exchanged?
She yelled, "I have kids in the car," and he leaned his head out and said, "I don't give a fuck."
Okay, hang on 1 second. What happened from there?
She told me to throw the drink at him and we pulled away.
Okay, so Whitney told you to throw a drink at him? So what'd you throw at him?
Water.
Was it a cup of water? And so you threw the water at him. Did it hit the truck?
Yeah.
What happened then? What do you recall?
He started swerving over in front of us, and I don't remember anything else.
Recall hearing anything? I
I mean,
mean,
it was just loud, and that's it. Like,
when you
it
say
was
loud, what do you mean loud?
like a bang, like a gunshot.
Okay, so you heard a bang. When you heard this bang, you think it was a gunshot. What happened in the car? I mean, what's
She couldn't drive, and we were swerving, so I had to sit on her lap and drive and park the car.
Did she tell you what happened?
She just kept saying she's been shot.
Okay. Describe him to me.
He was white.
A white male?
Yeah.
Okay. Younger, older,
Early 20s.
early 20s, so like 20 to 25? Okay.
He was kind of skinny.
Looked like he had a skinny build.
Yeah, he had blue eyes.
A detailed description of the attacker emerged. A white male in his early 20s with striking blue eyes, wearing a fedora-style hat. These characteristics became key identifiers that the police needed to search for among thousands of vehicles on the road.
And why do you say blue eyes?
Because I saw him.
Okay. They stood out to you? That's one thing you noticed. Anything else? What about hair color?
He had a hat on.
Had a hat? What did his hat look like? Like a baseball cap?
Kind of like a fedora.
A fedora? So it was like one of the hats that has a brim all the way around it. Skinny build, blue eyes, unshaven, a white male, 20 to 25. Okay. Let me ask you this. If you saw him again, could you identify him, do you think?
Yeah.
Had you ever seen this person before? So this was just a random act then. Never met him before. Never met you didn't have any issues with anyone inside the
No.
price chopper or anything. Describe the vehicle that he was driving. You said it was white. You know, when you pulled up, what did you think it was? I mean, do you recall?
I don't know. It could have been an SUV. Yeah.
Okay. Was it as big as the minivan? I mean,
Yeah, pretty even.
okay. So it wasn't a passenger car then. So you think it was possibly an SUV, maybe a truck?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else you can think of that I need to know about? Okay. Again, I'm sorry about everything I was
Are
sharing.
there cameras at the intersection?
We're going to check on everything. I'll be honest with you, I doubt that there's cameras at the intersection. Now, that doesn't mean that there's not some
There's not some
surveillance
on the
at a
surveillance.
business or
Well,
something.
right there at
Quick
the
trip,
doctor's
yeah,
office.
well,
And that's one of the things we'll check out. We're
The
going to
flower
look.
shop I know has it.
Yeah, we're going to check everything. But like I said, we'll get them. Okay, just have patience. So we got a lot of detectives working on it right now.
This is crazy.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. It absolutely is. This is.
Of a road rage, pretty much is what it was.
Yeah, I agree. Okay.
Denise's testimony painted a terrifying image of the assailant. A random act of violence by a complete stranger shattered the lives of many families. Police relentlessly pursued leads to ensure the community's safety. Police discovered Whitney in the Price Chopper surveillance footage. She was calmly shopping with her 2 young sons and niece, appearing as any other mother doing her weekly errands. No signs of the impending tragedy were evident. The investigative team convened early in the morning, meticulously analyzing hundreds of vehicle images to identify the white Toyota Sequoia. Although the vehicle was common, every minor detail brought them closer to the perpetrator. Just when hope seemed dim, the investigative team received a lead from the Quick Trip store. Clear footage of the Toyota Sequoia finally brought them closer to the murderer, casting a ray of hope in the lengthy investigation. The vehicle parked almost directly in front of one of the store's high-quality security cameras, providing an unobstructed view. A white male wearing a distinctive flat-brimmed fedora stepped out of the SUV. Investigators closely monitored his every move as he entered the store, hoping the interior cameras would offer a clearer view of the suspect. His presence inside the store became a crucial clue. The man headed towards the refrigerated section, but with the store's imminent demolition, most shelves had been stripped bare and the coolers stood empty. Disappointment began to show on his face. His entire demeanor shifted when he looked through the glass doors of the cooler and realized what he was searching for wasn't available. Visible agitation surfaced as he turned and left the store without selecting any items, leaving behind a trail of discontent. As he exited through the front doors, the cameras captured the clearest images of the suspect yet. His skinny build, minimal facial hair, and distinctive fedora perfectly matched the description provided by Whitney's niece. Just minutes later, he would encounter Whitney Gray at the intersection of 23rd and Sterling. With crystal-clear footage of both the suspect and his vehicle, detectives were certain they had crucial evidence to apprehend him. Investigators immediately sent screenshots of the suspect and his vehicle back to the station, along with the vital license plate number. The team at headquarters quickly traced the registration, discovering the vehicle belonged to James Taylor from Independence, Missouri. While one team continued analyzing the surveillance footage, another group of investigators raced to the apartment complex. As they approached the building, they spotted a man checking his mailbox. With weapons drawn, officers cautiously moved toward him. The man swiftly raised his hands and stated he knew exactly why the police were there. Instead of resisting, James Taylor agreed to accompany the detectives back to the station, marking a pivotal moment in the investigation.
The man was James Taylor, and rather than showing resistance or denial, he immediately agreed to accompany detectives back to the station.
Do you think you would have gone to Grace Limited?
I don't know. You know, I told him about it, whether he would remember it at this time, who knows? You know, he could always find someone that would give him some money. Now, he used to like to go to a bar out in Lee Summit. He didn't drink, but they had open mic, and he'd play guitar and sing.
Oh, yeah.
And that was Jerry's, I think it was.
Yep, I remember that place.
Okay.
Well, like I said, we're just trying to get your,
I know.
your brain going different directions.
Yeah.
To think, you know, stir something up.
Yeah.
Has he ever had any periods like this where he'll not answer the phone, or is this unusual?
James admitted he had periods of not answering his phone, but had no reason to obstruct the investigation. His concern for his son, Chris Taylor, led him to cooperate with the police.
He has had periods where he wouldn't answer the phone. But whether, you know, like I'm a worrier. You know, I come from a long line of them, so I come by it honestly. If I couldn't get a hold of him, I'd call his mom and ask her if she had heard from him, because I'm just afraid of for his welfare. You know, I hate to say it, but I don't like that area over there. You know, I used to live over there off of Truman Road, just right up the street from Quick Trip, and it was horrible. And I was worried about him all the time being over there.
Does he have any family members that he was ever really, really close to?
No.
That say have passed away or anything like that?
No. Well, yeah, my dad, his grandfather, he was real close. He came. Matter of fact, they gave him leave from the Army to come back for his funeral, and he took it real hard.
Is your father, when he passed away, was he traditionally buried in a cemetery?
Yeah.
Is he local? Or? Where at?
Butler, Missouri. I really don't believe he would go there. He wouldn't want his grandfather to know if he's done this. He wouldn't. he wouldn't want his granddad to know that he'd done this.
Despite facing pain and loss, James Taylor became an invaluable source of information for the investigators. His cooperation not only brought them closer to the perpetrator, but also provided hope for the victim's family.
Some people, when they're in tough places, sometimes they'll turn to thoughts of people that were close to them for I'll be right back.
Okay.
Advice, or
Right.
not that they're going to get it, but
Right.
for
I understand what you're saying.
lack of a better term, an ear to listen to what they're saying, even though they're not physically there.
Right. Well, I've gone to the graveyard and talked to my mom and dad.
Sure. I think everyone that's lost a loved one has.
Yeah. Well, if you haven't, there's something wrong with you.
Sure.
But, oh, God. Never in a million years would I have thought this.
I wish I had some good advice for you.
I know. Everybody's got to deal with it the way they got to deal with it. I just, like I asked earlier, hopefully he won't ever know that I'm the one that turned him in, or not turned him in, but gave up all this information.
He didn't come over to your apartment last night or this morning or anything?
No.
Police continued analyzing footage from surveillance cameras, searching for any clues that could lead to the arrest of the murderer. Every minor detail became crucial in the race against time to ensure community safety.
Does he have a key to your apartment?
Yes, he does. I forgot about that. Damn. I didn't even notice if it was in the safe.
Do you think he'd go to your apartment?
I don't know why he would. That'd be pretty risky, wouldn't you think? Of course, you don't know. Apparently, he wasn't thinking straight anyway. I don't know.
Okay.
Honest to God. And we knew, like I said, we knew that we needed to come here, and tell you guys our suspicions, but then, like I said, conflicting reports on TV. One on Facebook said the guy was tall, had a long beard and long hair. Well, then, immediately you go, oh, well, that's not Chris. Whew.
That was in the process of us filtering out all the reports that we were getting.
Right,
and so forth.
Yeah.
Let me see if I find a bottle of water for you or anything.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Just hang tight and I'll be right back, okay?
Okay.
Hey, how are you?
Okay, how are you?
Good. I'm Sergeant Hal.
That's him.
Okay. I just wanted to confirm. Hang on.
Where did you find him?
We haven't found him yet.
Oh, okay.
This is a surveillance video, but I wanted to make sure.
Oh, okay.
Give me just a second.
Oh, God.
The investigation led the detectives to the city's hidden corners, where they hoped to find decisive evidence. Their persistence and dedication yielded significant progress, nearly leading to the suspect's capture.
Let's call him. Hello? Hi. No, Becky, I'm at the police station. They came and got me. Cops, 4 marshals, and an FBI agent. They just came in, showed me a picture of him in the store. Yeah. I don't know. They just said, is this your son? I said, yeah. And, you know, I've told them everything I know. No sense hiding it. You know, they just brought in a picture of him in a store and asked if that was my son. I said, yeah, that's him. No, that's all right. I'll call you guys when I get home. Okay. All right, we'll talk to you later. Well, I had a call from my ex-wife.
Yes, sir.
I went ahead and I answered it.
Sure.
You know, I told her where I was.
Sure.
You know, no sense lying about it, and told them that they were going to being questioned. They're going to be questioned. They're not going to run. She's just like I am. They have nothing to hide, and they even know less than I do.
See, you're not under arrest or anything.
Oh, I know.
Right now.
I know.
You're here as we view, trying to help us locate your son.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know.
My sergeant showed you this.
Yeah, I know. That's my son. I forgot that he wore that type of a hat.
That's why I kind of asked you.
Yeah.
Would you be willing to initial this and say, this is my son, this is write out his name?
Hopefully I can do it without shaking too bad.
James Taylor, though heartbroken by the situation, provided valuable information that paved the way for the investigators. His cooperation was a significant step forward in resolving this tragic case.
All right, sorry to keep you waiting, sir.
That's all right.
You have any questions for me or the other detective? He's busy doing some paperwork right now.
Where exactly did it happen? It was
over on Sterling Road.
Sterling
and Winter area, right there.
Okay. Were they in the Quick Trip or what? Where he was, where they got the picture. I mean, I know you can't tell me a lot, but
we can't really tell you a whole lot at this point on some of this stuff, and I apologize for that.
No, I understand.
But like I said, our goal is we want to talk to Chris, and we want to get him here to talk to him safely. That's our goal. I know that's your goal.
Yes. But I'll tell you, don't give your life up for it. And I'm serious. You know, he knows he's got to know that you're looking for it.
Yes, sir.
You know, and whether or not he would just give up, I don't know.
Okay.
But
I appreciate your concern there. We're going to do everything to keep everybody safe.
I know you will.
That's our number one goal.
Yeah. And believe me, I hope that I'm coming across as someone that really appreciates you guys.
No, you are.
Yeah.
You've shown great amount of concern for us and everybody else just coming up here to talk to us. We appreciate that greatly.
Well, you're welcome. You know, I wish it was under different circumstances, but you know, I told him years ago, man, that you get yourself in jail, I won't get you out. You know, and I'm being so honest with you guys. You know, that's why I kept saying, you know, hoping that he never finds out. And I keep thinking about that poor woman, or the kids in the car, too. Thank God. Why would he do that?
Though visibly heartbroken by the situation he found himself in, James Taylor proved to be an invaluable resource for investigators. Like any father would be, he was devastated by his son's actions, but he remained determined to help police understand who they were dealing with. What he revealed next deeply concerned the investigators. Christopher was ex-military with access to multiple weapons.
James Taylor, like any father, was utterly devastated by his son's actions. However, He remained steadfast in assisting the police to understand the person they were dealing with. His next revelations deeply troubled the investigators. Christopher, James's son, was a former military personnel with access to multiple weapons. He was described as a conspiracy theorist with anti-government views and had a history of going off the grid when he wanted to disappear. This information significantly heightened the danger level in the manhunt. With his military background and survivalist mindset, if Chris decided to disappear, he could completely evade capture, making it extremely difficult for investigators to track him down. But just as this grim reality set in, the investigators received a crucial break. While researching Chris's vehicle, they discovered he had financed the Sequoia through a local dealership. Contacting the dealer, they received the news they had been desperately hoping for. The vehicle was equipped with a GPS tracking system. Using the GPS, the police discovered the vehicle was traveling west on Interstate 90, now in Box Elder, South Dakota. It seemed Chris was heading toward the Rocky Mountains, exactly where his father feared he might go. Independence detectives quickly coordinated with the Rapid City Police Department. Local officers found the white Toyota Sequoia in the parking lot and confirmed that Christopher Taylor had registered a room under his own name. The Rapid City SWAT team was deployed, positioning a sniper to watch Chris's room window while officers quietly evacuated guests from nearby rooms. Fearing a potential shootout, the police devised a clever plan to draw Chris out. They staged a car accident in the parking lot and instructed the front desk to call Chris's room, informing him that his vehicle had been hit. The plan worked when Chris looked out of his window, exited his room unarmed, and was immediately taken into custody.
Well, let me make sure. Like I said, my name is Detective Pullman. Like I said earlier, down there in this cell, we kind of want to talk to you and get your side of the story here. We got contacted by a different agency, obviously, and asked if we could try to make contact with you, and that's how, we located you at the motel. So we want to talk to you a little bit about that. You know why we're here. You know what we're wanting to probably talk about, and we've got, especially us, we've got one side of the story that was given to us from law enforcement in Missouri.
Inside his Sequoia, the police discovered multiple firearms and thousands of rounds of ammunition. This crucial evidence demonstrated Chris's arming and dangerous capabilities, bringing the investigation one step closer to apprehending him.
And kind of just a synopsis of what they did as far as their investigation and what they found out. And we want to see, basically your side of the story and see where it, fits in with their investigation. You seem like a pretty honest guy to me so far, and I'm hoping we can have just a good open discussion and kind of iron out all the details. The incident that we're investigating, obviously, was a gal getting shot. And that happened on the 16th, so that would have been Sunday evening. I'd like to go back to, say, Sunday morning. If you can recall back, Sunday morning, and kind of give us a rundown of what you did that day leading up to, this incident happening. And I'll just kind of leave it open to you to just kind of fill us in what your day was like.
During the interrogation, James Taylor showed his sorrow, but remained determined to cooperate. He provided valuable information that helped investigators better understand his son's motives and actions, offering hope for resolving the case.
Drove into Lee Summit to watch the Chiefs game. Watched the Chiefs game. Left there at 6:15. Left there, went straight to the grocery store, Hy-Vee and Melon, at Independence. Bought groceries. Went home. Went to the gas station to get some water. And went back home. Left again. north on Sterling. And I was sitting at the light at 23rd Street in Sterling. There's a vehicle in front of me. Come from one to the right. We started, light turned green, we were going up the hill. And the car in front of me was going slow. And I was just sitting there waiting for them to speed up, but they didn't, so I waited for somebody to clear off to the side, and I sped up and went around them to get up to the speed limit. And right then, the van starts speeding up next to me and yelling at me, and I rolled out the window, and she says, "My kids are in the car." And I said, "Okay, well, you can at least do the speed limit." And I started to speed up. Well, they sped up too, and whoever was in the passenger seat threw something at the car. And with my training and everything, it was almost like reacting to contact. And it was instantaneous. It didn't even think, it just happened. And I don't know why, but it was a negligent discharge without looking. So I fully missed making the shot, but God knows I didn't mean it to happen.
Immediately after the shooting, the chaotic emotions left James Taylor in disbelief. His panic and concern for his family's safety drove him to cooperate with the police, even though his heart was shattered by the loss.
What happened after that?
I freaked out. I couldn't, it was like, I couldn't believe what had happened.
James Taylor, despite his heartbreak over the situation, became an invaluable source of information for the investigators. His cooperation not only brought them closer to the perpetrator, but also provided hope for the victim's family, marking a significant step forward in resolving this tragic case.
I panicked. I'm like, oh my God, what did I do? So I didn't know what to do. I just hit the gas.
After the horrific event, Christopher Taylor returned home in a state of panic. He sat there, unsure of what to do, only knowing he had accidentally discharged his firearm within city limits. Fear overwhelmed his mind, making it impossible for him to control his actions.
I went back home and I sat there. And I'm like, stewing over this, and I didn't know what the hell to do. I was so freaking scared. And I sat there. I didn't know what had happened. All I knew is that I freaking negligently discharged my freaking firearm in the city limits.
Upon hearing on the radio that someone had been shot and killed, Christopher couldn't believe his ears. Panic spread within him as he began hastily packing his belongings, unsure whether to flee or face the consequences of his actions.
So I went home. I heard on the radio that someone was shot and killed, and I freaked out. I couldn't believe it. So I panicked. I started packing up all my stuff.
In his panic, Christopher loaded all his stuff into the car and started driving, attempting to escape the scene. He hoped that quickly leaving would help him evade the police chase, but anxiety continued to grip him tightly.
Originally I was packing it just to freaking get it out, and I'm like, I didn't know what to do. So I put everything in the car and I just started driving. And here we are.
You appear to be a guy that tries to do right.
Never done anything.
Caring person. And I don't think you meant to kill somebody here.
I never meant to hurt anybody at all.
And I can obviously tell you're really remorseful about the chain of events and what happened.
Hey, Chris, when you mentioned training, what's your background?
The Army.
Army time? What'd you do there?
I just went through basic and AIT, but I had to get out for a financial hardship separation.
Okay.
No, just training-wise, just like anything else, it's just tactical training. It's just like the police do, they react to contact. If maybe I didn't do it.
The reason behind Christopher's shooting remains unclear. He stated that it was a natural reaction, a reflex ingrained from his military training. Panic caused him to lose control of the firearm, turning the incident into an unforeseen tragedy.
Craig, I don't know what the hell I was thinking, but it was just natural.
Yeah, it happened fast. So, like, in that particular day, where would it usually be kept?
Right next to me, between the seat and the center console.
So not in it, but kind of in that crevice there. Yeah.
Is it holstered up, or is it holstered? Okay, so there's a holster there for it.
You recognize anybody? Wasn't anybody you knew or had run into? Or
no.
And you mentioned an object being thrown. Can you remember any details about that?
It had water or something in it.
Okay.
But it was big, whatever it was. I mean, but
bigger than this?
Yeah. Because when it hit the side of the car, and I instantly just reacted to it.
Christopher described the incident as an immediate reaction when a large object struck his car. Unaware that it was a water jug, he only knew he needed to protect himself. Drawing the gun from the holster happened unintentionally, resulting in the discharge.
Did you know it was a water jug hitting your car, or did it?
It happened like that.
Sure.
Like I said, it was reactive contact, and it was just trained response, muscle memory.
You told him you have the gun in a holster between your seat and your console. At what point did that gun come out of the? Because you couldn't have had a negligent discharge with it in the holster, correct?
No.
So it definitely came out of the holster. When did it come out? I'm trying to get a good definition of negligent discharge.
I'm driving forward and something comes and hits the car. I always have my hand right there.
It's like we do.
And as soon as it's like that,
okay,
out the window.
Okay. So when I say negligent discharge, when you say that to us.
While driving to escape, Christopher had no intention to harm anyone. He was merely trying to protect himself in a tense situation. However, his actions led to the death of an innocent person, bringing severe consequences to his life.
That's a guy in the range who's not paying attention to his gun and has his finger on the trigger and puts one into the ground or into the ceiling or something like this. You're saying your reaction because of the contact was pull the gun, brought it over this direction, and boom, it went off.
No,
it wasn't like an...
It wasn't an intention. That's why I say it was a negligent discharge. I didn't pull the trigger on purpose.
Okay, you brought the gun out of the holster though, right? And swung it this direction. And I'm just guessing by your body positioning, did you even acquire a sight picture?
No.
Anything like that?
I didn't.
Was the gun in one hand or both hands?
One hand. Steering wheel.
Like that, up over the top or under the steering?
Oh, I can't do it, but...
Yeah. Over the top. Okay. Was your window down?
Yes.
Because you guys had exchanged some words. Were you meaning to display this gun to somebody? Like they were exchanging words or something like that? You don't know what they're to the point they're throwing stuff at you is display this gun to back them off?
Like I said, it was just reaction to contact. It wasn't muscle memory. It wasn't anything other than that.
Information from the investigation revealed crucial details about Christopher's actions. Drawing the gun from the holster and reacting instinctively raised questions about his weapon control, casting doubt on his responsibility in the incident.
Okay. So based on the vehicle positioning, I'm assuming this girl was driving the car that you hit. And how do you think you went through their side window or their front windshield?
No.
Just physics. How do you think it went?
Okay, so comes up and throws it. I accelerate at the same time to get away, and I'm coming around like that. That's all it was.
Do you shoot your handgun quite a bit? You shoot quite a bit? Right. You ever had a negligent tongue twister, negligent discharge before? No. Practicing, training, anything like that? Okay. What do you do to prevent that? You know, what's the kind of the key firearm rule to prevent that?
Keep the finger off the trigger.
Finger in a register. You ever have any other confrontations with people like this? Never.
Never even been in a fight.
Are there any other things going on in your life that's kind of been rough on you?
No,
your dad was worried about you.
Everything's good. That's the problem. You know what? Everything was good in my life. You know what's worse? The family of that girl that I killed.
Christopher faced immense pain as he realized the consequences of his actions. Regret and sorrow overwhelmed him, making it unbearable as he felt he had destroyed the lives of many, including the victim's family.
How am I going to live with that, man? So I thought that when I joined the Army that I would be able to do the job. And this is probably a damn good thing that I didn't. That I had to get out. I don't know how anybody could handle doing this. The whole time I was driving out here, all I could think about was going back and turning myself in. Because there's no way you can run from that.
Just listening to you talk about firearms and stuff like that. You read a lot of firearms magazines, watch any shows like that. You use some terminology that either tells me that you've got the training or you at least got an interest in it.
I have knowledge of it.
During the interrogation, investigators discovered that Christopher had extensive knowledge of firearms, heightening the severity of the case. This expertise made him a potential danger, necessitating urgent police intervention.
Like I say, it's what I like.
Mm-hmm.
Just enjoy firearms.
We probably won't have the opportunity to talk to you again. I don't know. I guess we could. There were some follow-up questions that we had for you. First step of any possibility of it is being honest. Boy, if you were to just hash this down and deny it, blame it away, you wouldn't have any chance.
No. God will never forgive me.
He does. He forgives.
Well, murder is an unforgivable sin. Yes, it is.
We may or may not cross paths again, but if you got some questions, if you want to talk to us again, you can sure ask.
Christopher Taylor's case went to trial approximately 18 months later. Prosecutors sought the maximum sentence, including life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. They argued that this was a deliberate act of road rage murder. On August 24, 2018, the court sentenced Christopher Taylor to 17 years in prison. The jury determined that he was not fully criminally responsible for his actions, but still had to face a severe punishment due to the serious consequences he caused. After a tense trial process, Christopher Taylor was sentenced to 17 years in prison for the charges of involuntary manslaughter and armed criminal action. This punishment not only reflects the severity of his actions, but also sends a powerful message about justice and personal responsibility. This case serves as a stark reminder of the serious consequences that can arise from split-second decisions made in moments of chaos. It also raises profound questions about mental health and emotional control in high-stress situations. We would love to hear your thoughts on this case. Please leave your comments below and share your opinions. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button to never miss out on other captivating crime interrogation videos, and receive exclusive benefits from us in the near future. Thank you for joining us on this journey to uncover the truth and uphold justice.